What's going on, everyone? This is Aged Out Reacts again with the two hosts of the Aged Out podcast, Mike Fantini, and with me as always is
Evan Worrell.
And before we get into today's awesome video from Drumline Archives of the Bluecoats 2019 in the finals lot, make sure you hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Leave a comment if you want to let us know your opinion on the video and this group in general, or any thoughts in general about what we do here. Share the video if you want. If you have anyone you feel like would appreciate it. Check out the podcast on podcast services, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, patreon.com/aged-out-podcast if you want to toss us like $1 a month. Everything helps. We're trying to get some webcams and everything going on for video to be added to these bad boys. Check out LoneStarPercussion.com. Use the code AGEDOUT. Save $10 on any order of $50 or more. Real easy to do. Helps you, helps us, helps them. Everybody wins. Now, I mentioned a second ago that, excuse me, that we're watching some Bluecoats 2019, and our previous reaction video was the Cadets in 2013, and they won the drum trophy that year. So we had the idea, maybe we do like a drum trophy series where we go through all the years we can of every group that won the drum trophy in that specific year. But then in talking about that idea, we came across an interesting statistic, and I'll let Evan take it over and kind of go over this because this is mind-blowing.
Yeah, I guess I knew this information, but looking at it in a list, I was just kind of looking down. I was like, oh, dang. So since 1983 and on, so BD won in 83. So since then, there have been primarily 5 groups that have won every drum trophy. BD, Cadets, Vanguard, Cavaliers, and Phantom Regiment. Those 5 have won every year except 93 when Star won. And then 1991, it says it's a 3-way tie between Vanguard, Star of Indiana, and the Cavaliers, which I was like, 3-way tie? That's before they did an average of the 3 quarters, semis, and finals nights. And I had to look up the recap. I was like, what the heck was going on? Star of Indiana in the field and ensemble was 3rd and 1st for a total of 19-3. Cavaliers were 1st and 3rd, flip-flop, for a total of 19-3. And then Vanguard was 2nd and 2nd for a total of 19-3. So I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, that's nuts.
That's nuts.
That happens like that. Like, you think about it, it makes sense that those 5 groups, but to think about that, like over the course of almost 30 years, only 5 groups really have won a drum trophy. And didn't you say, going back as far as like 73 or 72, that every other group that's not those 5 no longer exists?
Yeah, so like even if you go back to 72, Kingsman won in 72, Bridgman won in 1980, 80, 81, 82, say that 3-peat there. And then Star won in 1991 where they tied, and 1993 outright. So if you go back since 1972, no group who has won besides Vanguard, BD, Cavaliers, Cadets, and Phantom exist anymore.
That's still insane to me to hear. Like, it makes sense after you hear it, but I've never considered that. I was like, wow, really, it is like the same 4 or 5 groups.
Yeah,
it's
that's nuts.
The fact
so obviously we didn't want to just do all the drum trophy winners because it'd just be like a compilation of those 5
it would be
a long time.
It would get so monotonous. And we've already, like, we want to talk about this real quick too. We've had some suggestions on previous videos, and various fans of what we do have been like, do a DCA group, do an open class group, and we do 100% have plans. So feel free, help us out with the algorithm, drop a comment with a link to a really good like open class group you maybe would like us to do, or a DCA group that was really solid that year, and we'll try and expand out. And we want to expand, like we haven't done Blue Stars yet, we haven't done Colt, like we want to go outside of the comfort zone. But yeah, that's still like, yeah, we can't just do drum trophies because it'll be the same 5 groups, and we've already done all of those groups at some point at least once anyway. So I know today we're also doing a Bluecoats video, but the thought behind that was we've done Bluecoats like 05, we've done when I marched in 12, but this is like a modern Bluecoats video of what they currently are.
Some recent jams.
Yeah, so we'll do this, and then we'll start branching out in future reaction videos. So we wanted to put that out there and just share that insane statistic that I was like speechless the first time he told me that when we were researching it. I was like, what the hell? But
that's pretty mind blowing.
yeah. So all right, ready to get into this?
Yeah, somebody else is due for a drum trophy. Let's
Right.
go.
Bluecoats will win one eventually, hopefully.
I gotta
We'll
get
see.
myself in the right mindset. Here we go. There we go. All right.
Perfect. I'll take a sip of my bourbon. That was an ugly sounding sip, but we'll go with it.
Yeah.
Moving on. Here we go. The Beatles show.
Yeah. I like the classic wood grain look too on these.
Oh yeah, the drum finish was very nice. Great touch. That was a really good roll on the top bass too. Nailed that one. Oh man, that first note.
Yeah.
That first note. It was like a low left. Did I mishear that? Let's rewind a minute here.
Nah, it was yeah, they just
Like the
didn't
first
quite
note.
get that guy in there.
Yeah.
I wish I could have warmed up in tennis shoes like this.
Dude, Dinkles. Wore Dinkles all day long. Is awful. Did you wear Dinkles at Crown too?
I think so. I don't even know.
I wore Blue Stars and Bluecoats. It was not fun.
We wore band shoes.
Yeah, now they're wearing like comfortable ass stuff. It's unfair. All right.
Pumas.
Yeah, that first note was not in there. The roll was good though. That was good too.
That was
Damn.
crispy. Little couple low end things.
Yeah, little scratchies, but overall just really high quality. The balance was really good this year too, like in the snare line especially.
I think the one thing I appreciated from the 19 line that was an improvement from like 16, 17, 18 was the blend between snares and quads too.
Yes, it's so hard to get that, but when it hits, like when you've got that in the line you're in, it's so nice to listen to. It just makes the sound so much warmer.
Dude, this book is so tasty.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite Rarick books out of the past few years that he's written there. Those were good.
Daniel Ricoder there. What up, Daniel? A couple little tic-tackies.
Yeah, that blend was not there on the beginning of that roll. Yeah, the snare sound was really good. When they were in there, very blended. Tuning was really good. Yeah, I haven't seen this stuff in a while, like since the 2019 summer happened, what, 2 years ago now, whatever it was, year and a half, whatever it is. And there have been multiple years
long.
recently. Yeah, right, exactly. Well, I'll pause this for a second. Like multiple years
Classic
recently where
Bluecoats vocals.
yeah, right. Where like the snare blend and the touch hasn't been what it has been in previous years, but this year like they found it. Like when that stuff's in there for this snare line, it's in there and it's very blended and very balanced. That's all I got. I don't know.
You're good. No, I mean, yeah, I agree. It was better.
Yeah.
I like this year much better. And also, well, we'll keep going.
Don't get me wrong. It wasn't bad in previous years, but like it's just not when it's really there, which it was this year in my opinion. You can really tell. That right there is why everybody loves Bluecoats. Stuff like that.
Ooh,
That was
good.
real nice. I love this top bass.
They do more like rim shot and like rim knock type stuff than most other groups. I feel like.
Yeah, that's true. They do. Rennick writes a lot of that recently, especially.
I think did you say Rennick? I think you meant Rarick.
Rarick, sorry, 2 R's.
That shot was a little thick.
The roll wasn't quite in there either, but they corrected it really quickly. That's so hard. That like,
Dude,
that like,
I love
and
that
then
rhythm.
come back.
Like, check out. I got a good
Yeah,
go on the upbeat.
and like that space is so hard to get, especially with how far they were reaching in that gap. And honestly, that's almost like a cheater. You want to keep the motion going as you come off those 2 shots to be able to better time the actual singles after it. But they executed that flawlessly, and that's extremely hard to do. I want to hear that again. Woo! Nailed it.
Ah.
Those fours?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. One of them wasn't quite locked in. Yeah, dude,
There's a lot of unique space.
he really does. Super creative. Oh no.
It's like a.
We forgot to clear these out. Oh well.
We just won't talk and then we'll get back. If you can.
Nah, we're good. You gotta watch coming out of that buzz. That's also a very, like, underrated thing. Coming out of a buzz roll. Like, coming out of the buzz together is a lot harder than most people probably give it credit for. Correct me if I'm wrong there on that.
No, I would say too, especially the longer that it is, just because things get a little bit more ambiguous. It's less articulate of a rhythm, so like your ears can play tricks on you, like, oh, did I fall out of like the tempo, rather than like having that strong internal pulse and all releasing together. For sure.
Yep. Underappreciated. Woo! Those drags.
Those were tight.
Yep. That gut roll was, damn.
Dude, yeah, that's tasty.
Oh, yeah.
Woo! That ping shot was nice.
Uh-huh.
That drag. Go back. Hold on. That like lead in. That was good.
Woo! Dude, I love pings like that. Like, just a lot of pings in a row when they're in there. So pleasing to the ear.
Ooh, that was a little fuzzy.
Do you know where they finished in drums in 19? I don't remember.
I'll try to look it up here in a second.
I love that phrase. I want to hear that again.
Yeah.
That phrase was nice.
It'll be a good pause because I feel like this year was a good blend of taste to substance. Some of the books, like I think the 16 book for Bluecoats was probably a little bit too ambitious for them to play consistently.
Yeah.
But I feel like this book lent itself to a lot of really rewarding things. Like it had the beef, but it also had the taste and the variety.
It paced itself well.
Yeah. That's a good way to put it. I really enjoyed this book.
Yeah, Rarick, I feel like, has found the sweet spot over the past couple of years, which is why I think they have the talent, they have the instructional staff, like they will get that drum trophy as drum corps gets back to somewhat normalcy, hopefully in the near future. Like they will figure that out, and he's found the sweet spot of beef to tastiness, whereas earlier on in that 2010 era decade, I feel like there were years where he was trying to figure out that balance in the modern game of the activity of how much beef do I need, how much space, you know what I mean? Like some books are a little too easy probably that he wrote in that era, and some books were, like you said, 16, probably too hard. Like an example of one that I think probably could have been beefed up was the year that I marched in 12. Like I think that book could have used more beef and would have helped our chances to possibly have won a drum trophy over BD, but neither here nor there. I just think he's definitely, the point is, found that sweet spot now, and it's just really fun to listen to at this point. I mean, I've always liked his books, obviously, but now it's like the pinnacle of what he's doing, you know, in the modern activity.
Right.
They have a lot of, like, cross-stick stuff like that in this book.
Yeah, for sure. Those Hertas. It with the accented left.
Dude, I love Hertas. roll there was a little gray, but that was good.
It's a tough rhythm.
That's really hard. The
I also-
right, left, left, right. That low left putted as they were shoving in there. That's really tough to do too, and they did it really well.
I also really like the tap fives into the eighth note space. I feel like that's such a good opportunity for people to dig in.
Oh, I always love playing that. I had it in both years. I marched, had that in both books. It was great. I loved it.
Let's see here. Check it out. Yeah.
Something else that I don't want to go. I don't want to have overlooked by anyone. They played a tap five and then not morphed, but like just switched to an eighth note roll, if that makes sense. So it was triplet two but it was a tap five, and then it was just like an eighth note roll for 2 counts. And that switch, that hand pressure change is extremely difficult. And it just sounds cool.
Mac does that a lot.
He does it a whole lot.
Yeah, like leads
does it all the time, and it's so cool.
It's like a, I don't know, written rubato in the middle of a phrase for me. Just
I don't even know what the word rubato means, so you got me on that one.
It's like a slowdown. But I mean, they're obviously not slowing down tempo, but the metric.
Yeah. It's metric. Yeah. All right, let's see what this looks like. There's we got an ad coming in 2 seconds. Apologies, we didn't plan accordingly.
You gotta upgrade to that YouTube.
Jeez, no, we just need to remember to let the skip to the end of the video.
We gotta get Drumline Archives their money.
That's true. Touche. This bass line was really good.
Dude, the Bluecoats have had some nasty bass lines the past few years. Go back. That wasn't... I want to hear that again. That wasn't, I don't think, in there.
Let's see. We were talking about bass lines, but to piggyback on the bass line comment, they really have. I can't remember a year in the past decade where the bass line was bad. Like, Bluecoats Drumlines haven't been bad for a long time in general, but where
I
they
wouldn't
were...
even say bad. I haven't remembered a past decade where they weren't really good.
That's the better way to put it. It's a glass half full of way of putting it. Yeah, I like that a lot better. They're just always solid.
I think the beginning of this snare phrase where they had the isolated right hand doubles was a little crunchy maybe.
Let's see. Love hearing that bass roll again though. Maybe a little bit. More cross sticks.
The layering,
all that,
yeah, is just very well done.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I love double stop buzzes. It's such a, I don't know.
It's a hype almost.
Yeah. It's hard to tick.
Best vocal in the game.
I think that we started that, I will say.
We might have it X, I think. That was
first left. Sound a little
sus.
Yeah. Ooh, that's tough. That's a good space.
Very tough. More of those left-handed accented hertas.
Ugh, that rhythmic motif. Check it.
I love that whole phrase. That whole phrase is just sick. How much is left in this? All right, we'll just let it keep playing.
Grooving.
Those 9-lit PDDs weren't quite in there the whole time.
Oof, those are nice.
Those, however, like you just said, we're in there. Really, damn, that whole phrase. I want to hear that again. That
Yeah,
whole
dude.
last little bit was nasty.
When they back up into the environmental setting of like the full line, it's just like it's a really locked in sound.
Oh yeah.
You knew, Susie.
Yeah, let's cheese the chuttas. Were those eighth note fivelet rolls into a triplet roll?
Definitely sped up.
I want to hear that roll one more time, then we'll let it finish out. Damn, that was good. Very nice.
Dude, I love
Solid.
like those like decrescendo flams cha-cha-cha-cha-cha, and stuff like that. It just feels so good in the hands.
Yeah. I don't know. I love that book. I thought they were very, very good. There was some small stuff in there, but even the groups that win drum trophies every year, you can watch their lot videos on a high quality recording or live, and you can find, that first diddle wasn't quite in there. That roll didn't start out perfectly blended. Like, it's just the reality of it. People aren't perfect. But that
And
was
obviously the lot is not always indicative of what happens on the field for sure.
Yeah.
But I looked it up. They were fourth, third for quarter semis finals, which I would.
Vanguard won.
I
I'm
don't have
assuming BD was second.
Yeah, and then I think the other night Crown was ahead of them on quarters, which obviously all those groups were fantastic.
Oh yeah,
so.
It really was. 2019 really was a good year for the top groups. Speaking about batteries, just all of them were just really good.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about drum scores and obviously just talking about the drumline right now, but there's obviously another component to that with the
for sure.
ensemble.
For sure.
But I mean, man, those groups that we just named, like BD, Vanguard, Bluecoats, Crown, then you had like Cavaliers, Cadets, Boston, Blue Knights. Like, it was just a killer year for drums.
Yep. Those years happen, and when they do, they are a blast to be a fan for. It's just crazy.
You're like, dang, why weren't we this good another year? We would have won.
I know, right? There's been a lot of years like that where it's like groups that weren't in those. There's been a couple years where I feel like Bluecoats have had drum trophy quality lines and fronts that any other year would have won. The problem was like all the three groups around them were also insane that summer. And it's just like, well, damn, we got to find an off year where we're awesome.
So I think Bluecoats are probably due to break our
they will. It's inevitable.
Break into the high percussion. Them and Crown, it's kind of mind-boggling that neither one of them have won a trophy yet, but it'll happen.
They both will. I mean, you have Dan and Travis at Crown. Like, the staff at both places is where it needs to be. Like, the team in place is there. The person writing the book, it's there. Like, we were talking about Rarick earlier in the middle of that video. You have Hannum/Travis over at Crown. Is it mainly Travis now?
Hannum, Travis, I think, are the top.
The main, they collab on it, but like both of them are going to win one soon. They just have
and then
to.
somebody's right in the front. I can't remember who, but
I don't know. Either way, the moral of the story: one of those two will win at some point, very soon. I think.
For sure.
The pieces are in place. So, well, this was fun. Longer than I thought it was going to be, but not always a bad thing. So, everybody, thanks for hanging out. Subscribe, share, comment, like the video, check out the podcast, other reaction videos, clips, whatever you want to do, Patreon, Lone Star, you know the drill. And thanks for hanging out, and we'll see everybody next time.
Peace.